Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Camille and I make videos about everything I like. So in today's video I'm going to show you how I build this beautiful ladder shelf that is right behind me, that I have designed myself. So this is going to be a video in two parts. The one you're watching right now will be about designing and building the shelf, whereas the second one will be about how to style the shelf and some DIYs to put on it. All the explanation and the document will be linked in the description below, so you can have all the information to build it yourself. It will be both in English and in French. And if you're Spanish, well, hola. And I'm sorry, there's nothing in Spanish. So, shall we begin? First of all, I went to the hardware store and my photo garage to pick up everything I needed. I chose to do it with wood because it was the aesthetic I was going for. So both the horizontal and the vertical support are made of pine wood. With the knowledge of the materials I had and their dimension, I designed the shelf on SketchUp and put it in a 3D model that I made of my art studio. Of course this step is optional, but I wanted to choose the dimension of my shelf so that it could fit in my art studio. It also helped me to visualize what colors I wanted on the vertical support. So now that I have the design of the shelf, it's time for the fun part, cutting everything to size. The ladder shelf is approximately 1.30 meter high and 53 centimeters wide. So each plank are 48 centimeters wide, and they need 2 brackets each. All the pieces are now at the good dimension and it's time to drill the holes. Side note, I choose wooden peg over screws because that was the aesthetic I was going for, and also you will not be able to see the wooden pegs at the end, so that was a bonus. So to begin with, measure and drill holes on the bracket. I drilled mine at 2 centimeters deep with the help of this little ring, the same size as the wooden peg that I found in the packaging. It was sold with it. Then you have to replicate the holes at the exact same position on the horizontal support. For that, you can find, still on the wooden peg packaging, these little metal things with the spikes that fit in the holes. When you place the bracket on the plank, you have to press down firmly so that the center of the hole is marked thanks to the spike. And be sure to mark the orientation of the brackets on the plank so that you don't mess up when assembling everything. Now it's time to decide which part of the plank is going to be the front, because there are 2 holes at the back and 1 at the front of the bracket, so you don't want to mess that up. And choose the best or the more beautiful part to be the front. To assemble the brackets and the plank together, you will need wooden peg, wooden glue, a hammer, a toothbrush, a sponge, leftover piece of wood, and clamps. First of all, spread the glue on the brackets and the plank with the toothbrush. Put the wooden pegs in the holes and press with your hands. If you cannot do it with your bare hands, use brute force. Put your piece of wood on it, and if brute force is not enough, don't worry. The clamps will do the trick. Use your leftover pieces to sandwich your support. Then use the clamps to tighten the whole structure. This way the clamps will not leave traces on the support, but rather on the leftover piece. Once it is tight enough, you'll begin to see glue coming out of the wood. So take your wet sponge to get rid of the glue. This step is very important because otherwise the varnish will not stay where the glue is. To seal the wood, I did 3 coats of varnish for the outdoors, but of course indoors is fine as well. But I wanted extra protection because I'm going to put plant on it. So now that all the horizontal supports are done, we need to assemble the vertical support. To do so, I used the biggest wooden plank to measure its emplacement and then nailed another piece of wood on the two supports to keep them in place and to have the right angle. After that, we can assemble them with the little piece I just made. You can use sandpaper or an electrical sander to smooth the sides. With your hands, you will feel when the surface is rough or smooth. The last step is to assemble the vertical support and the plank. So to know exactly where to drill the holes, I use the same technique with the little piece of metal. Before gluing everything together, I use black acrylic paint on the brackets. I only use one coat though, but I would advise you to do at least two, to make sure that everything is covered. With all the holes drilled, it's time to assemble everything by using the same gluing techniques and clamps. Lots and lots of clamps. And don't worry, this sound it might be terrifying, but it's normal. And there you have it, a beautiful ladder shelf to display all of your knickknacks. And that will be the subject for the next video. To be honest, it cost me around 30 euros. I think you can find one in the market at the same price, but this one is unique and it has the measures I need to fit in my studio. And also I had the opportunity to spend a lot of quality time with my dad because he helped me a lot during the whole process. So that's a win that nothing can buy. Anyway, I hope you like it and want to recreate this project. Like I said, all the instruction and information will be linked in the description below, as well as the 3D model that I made. So if you like it, make sure to give it a like, and if you want to follow me on all of my other adventures, well, you can subscribe. I make videos every weekend, or at least I try to. With that being said, I see you in the next video. Bye!